He didn't come back home to show off success or to be applauded for how far he had gone. In fact, he did the opposite. He chose to return quietly, dressed simply, carrying none of the signs of the wealth he had built over the years. This wasn't an act of deception driven by pride, it was a search for truth. After years of living in a world where respect could be bought and smiles often came with expectations, he began to wonder who truly cared about him as a person. Were the bonds with his family rooted in love, or were they tied to what he could provide? By pretending to be poor, he removed money from the equation completely. No favors to give, no bills to pay, no status to protect. Just him, standing as he once was. He wanted to feel what it was like to be seen without success speaking on his behalf. This test wasn't about judging his family, it was about understanding them, and perhaps understanding himself. Because sometimes, you have to strip away everything you own to discover what truly belongs to you. When he walked through the door, the reactions came fast, and they came unfiltered. Some faces lit up with warmth, while others tightened with discomfort. Conversations that once flowed easily now felt strained, measured, almost cautious. A few family members asked polite questions, but their interest faded quickly when they realized there was no success story to admire, no achievement to celebrate. Others avoided eye contact altogether, as if his struggle had somehow become contagious. It didn't take long for him to notice how differently he was treated without the armor of wealth. Invitations grew fewer, patience grew thinner, and subtle judgments began to surface in casual remarks. Yet alongside the disappointment, there were moments that lingered. A simple offer of tea, a quiet check-in, a chair pulled closer rather than pushed away. These small gestures carried more weight than any grand welcome ever could. In those reactions, he saw the honest divide between love that depends on circumstance and love that survives without it. Standing there, observing it all, he realized that money doesn't just change lifestyles, it changes how people listen, how they speak, and how they decide who is worthy of their time. And in that realization, the test truly began. As the days passed, it became clear that this wasn't just about reactions anymore, it was about values. Without money in the picture, everyday moments turned into quiet tests of character. Who offered support without being asked? Who listened without judgment? And who kept their distance, waiting for something in return that would never come? Simple situations revealed deeper truths. A shared meal, a casual conversation, a small request for help, each one exposed whether generosity came from the heart or from convenience. Some family members measured his worth by what he could contribute, not by who he was. Others treated him with the same respect they always had, proving that their principles didn't rise or fall with his financial standing. Watching this unfold forced him to confront an uncomfortable reality: values aren't declared in words, they're revealed in behavior. It's easy to talk about family, loyalty, and love when everything is comfortable. But when circumstances change, those beliefs are either lived or abandoned. In stripping life down to its simplest form, he saw clearly who believed in kindness as a principle, not a transaction. And in that clarity, the real measure of wealth quietly revealed itself. There were moments that stayed with him long after the conversations ended, moments that quietly broke his heart. Not because of outright cruelty, but because of how casually the hurt appeared. A dismissive comment about his situation. A joke that landed too close to the truth. A suggestion that he should have planned better, as if struggle were always a personal failure. He noticed how advice replaced empathy, how assumptions replaced understanding. Some family members spoke to him as if he were a burden, someone whose presence now came with inconvenience instead of pride. The hardest part wasn't being ignored, it was being looked at differently, like he had lost value as a human being. He realized that for some, respect had conditions, and dignity had a price tag. Each small moment added weight to a realization he hadn't expected to feel so deeply. Success had once protected him from these experiences, and without it, the truth stood exposed. Yet even in the hurt, there was clarity. These moments showed him what comfort had hidden for years and what money had quietly masked. Because sometimes the most painful lessons are also the most honest ones. But not every moment disappointed him. In between the silence and the judgment, there were quiet acts of humanity that caught him off guard. Someone saved him a seat at the table without hesitation. Someone asked how he was really doing and waited for the answer. There were gestures so small they could easily be overlooked, yet they carried a sincerity money could never buy. One family member defended him when others spoke carelessly, reminding the room that struggle does not erase worth. Another offered help without asking for explanations or making promises conditional. These moments didn't make noise, but they mattered. They reminded him that compassion often lives in the shadows, unnoticed until everything else falls away. What surprised him most was how these acts came from people who had little to gain and nothing to prove. Their kindness wasn't strategic, it was instinctive. In those interactions, he felt seen again, not as a success story or a failure, but simply as family. It became clear that while wealth can open doors, character decides who stays when they close. And in that realization, hope quietly returned. By the time the truth was ready to come out, the lesson had already settled deep within him. This journey was never about exposing others or proving a point, it was about redefining what wealth truly means. He had built a fortune, but the real revelation came from seeing how little money mattered when it was stripped away. Loyalty couldn't be bought, respect couldn't be demanded, and love couldn't be negotiated. Those who stood by him without knowing his worth in numbers turned out to be the richest people in the room. The experience reshaped how he viewed success, teaching him that financial achievement is temporary, but character leaves a lasting imprint. When he finally revealed who he was and what he had, the moment felt almost secondary to what he had already learned. The true value wasn't in the reactions to his wealth, but in the reactions to his absence of it. He walked away with clarity instead of resentment, gratitude instead of anger. Because at the end of it all, the greatest fortune he discovered wasn't in his bank account, but in knowing exactly who was rich where it truly mattered.